I think the Super Mario Brothers movie starring Chris Pratt and Jack Black could be one of the most important movies we have to come out in many, many years. And I say that for the reasons of knowing Nintendo and understanding that Nintendo is very dedicated to honoring their characters, and they don't let a lot of noise impact what they're doing, positively or negatively. And yes, that could be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on the circumstances. But if you have been playing Nintendo games all of these years, you know that they definitely take care of their IPs, and they definitely do what's best for the people that are purchasing their IPs. They can be a little hard-headed at times in a lot of other different directions, but when it comes to the actual games, they do a pretty good job of that. Now, we've seen the trailer for the Super Mario Brothers movie, and it looks surprisingly very good. As I've said many times on the announcement, I wasn't really looking forward to this. It sounded a little strange until I saw this poster right here, and I said, wow, that looks pretty good. And then now we have the trailer, and the trailer has an overwhelming amount of positivity. There's obviously questions about Chris Pratt, and I totally understand that, and I'll address that in future videos. But for now, let's talk about this movie and why I believe it is incredibly important for many reasons. And I mean that because I think if this is a successful movie, and I think that this could be a billion-dollar movie, if that happens, it could create the Nintendo Cinematic Universe, which could mean so much for so many different reasons. Because obviously you have Mario, but that's just the beginning, and anyone that knows anything about Nintendo understands this. And Nintendo is operating on so many different levels right now. The Nintendo Switch right now is currently the 5th best-selling console of all time, and it's on track to probably become the best-selling console of all time. Their software numbers are through the roof. It's insane. They've recently opened up Super Nintendo World over in Japan, and they're currently working on Super Nintendo World for Orlando and for California. So there's a lot of momentum, a lot of positive momentum for Nintendo building. But if this Mario movie is successful, what could it mean? It could mean something like this. It could mean a Legend of Zelda animated movie. Could you imagine how incredible a Legend of Zelda animated movie would be? This would be something that so many people would be freaking out and losing their minds over. Now, there would obviously have to be some type of shift in how they do things with The Legend of Zelda, and specifically Link, I think, to actually tell a good story from a animated movie like that. But it doesn't matter, because from a scope and from a scale standpoint, it would be unbelievable. It would blow my mind. It would blow a lot of people's minds, and I know so many people would be on the hype train for this one. And that would be the obvious choice that a lot of people would think about is, we need a Zelda movie now. We need a Zelda movie now. But the one I would be most excited about would be a Metroid movie. Now, this is Metroid Dread right here, and obviously there's a lot of different iterations of Metroid in the series, but Metroid Dread is arguably my favorite Metroid game. Before I played this one, Super Metroid was my favorite, but this one blew me away. I couldn't believe it. Now, the Prime games are incredible, and I think that most people will probably find the first Metroid Prime game their favorite, or one of those Prime games, but for me it was Metroid Dread. And seeing Samus in a animated feature film, that would be something that would probably be even cooler than the Mario movie or a Zelda movie for me, because I love Samus as a character. I've always loved the Metroid games, and it just opens you up to such a different world than Mario or Zelda, has opened us up to. So that would be unbelievable. And again, this all goes back to the Mario movie. If this movie is successful, look at the opportunities that it opens up for us. How about an F-Zero movie? How about an F-Zero movie? Come on. Like, you could do some super cool stuff with an F-Zero movie. It just opens up so many possibilities. I know we probably just need a new F-Zero game first, but the point being is, once you open up those opportunities, Nintendo and their IPs just open up these incredible, incredible properties and potential stories that we could tell. Luigi's Mansion. It's tied to the Mario world, and I'm sure we might see a teaser of Luigi's Mansion within the Mario movie. I'm not sure about that. We did see that little bit in the trailer. Not really sure what exactly they're doing there. They were kind of teasing it seems like, so I think that we probably will, and then we could get a Luigi's Mansion animated movie. I mean, that would be super cool. And from a tone standpoint, that would be completely different than the Super Mario Brothers movie. So that would be really interesting. And of course, we have Donkey Kong. I mean, you could get a Donkey Kong movie. Now, Donkey Kong is actually going to be in the Super Mario Brothers movie, voiced by Seth Rogen. So we're going to have to see. But that opens up that possibility. But the Nintendo brand is rocking and rolling. As I mentioned earlier, you've got Super Nintendo World over in Japan, and I have the VG charts totals pulled up right here. The Switch right now is currently the 5th best-selling console of all time. It recently passed the PlayStation 1, and it's about to pass the PlayStation 4 and the Game Boy, and then it's going to be a pretty big gap to get to the Nintendo DS and then ultimately the PlayStation 2. And based on the momentum that the Switch has and the fact that it doesn't seem like Nintendo is going to open up for another console generation anytime soon, I think the Nintendo Switch has a good chance of becoming the biggest selling or the best selling console of all time because it's not slowing down at all right now. And everything is rocking for Nintendo. So let me know what you guys think about a Nintendo Cinematic Universe. Do you think this is possible? Would you be on board with this if this Mario movie is successful? And right now, as it stands, based on the reaction of this Mario trailer, I think this Mario movie is set to become a massive success for Nintendo. And if that in fact happens, the amount of possibilities that it opens up are endless. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for checking out this video, and we will talk to you later.